Welcome. We're back with another segment of the Love and Respect Experience. Once again, the book I'm reading from, the author is Dr. Emerson Riches. How everything been going? For myself, I keep waking up to receive the first blessing of the day. It's a lot on my plate I'm trying to get done. It's a lot on my plate I have gotten done. I'm trying to figure what's next. I'm honestly trying to figure the closing of this reading to better explain how things going with me after a marriage, after being divorced. But we left off at chapter 43. We're gonna get into chapter 44, and hopefully I can breeze through this as quick as I can. Hopefully you have gotten some insight. Hopefully you have researched some things in your marriage that works and what don't work. And please remember to like, remember to share, remember to comment if you got questions. You know, if it's something I've said you don't agree with, let's have a dialogue. You know what I mean? I am the nasty pastor. I have a YouTube channel called Only Faith Ministries I would like for you to go and subscribe to. But anyway, let's get into chapter 44. Chapter 44 title is, I am not being defensive. The verse comes from out of Proverbs 18:19. An offended friend is harder to win back than a fortified city. Arguments separate friends like a gate locked with iron bars. You get it? Arguments. You know, some things you can't control. Some things been festering, been laying in you for so long that when that moment comes, you may not handle it right. You may feel you handle it right because you have took a burden off of your shoulders. You have took something out of your inside, out of your makeup, out of your emotions, out of your memory that you've been trying to get out for a long time. But then when you look at the energy, you have put into it, you feel cheated in the end. So, there's nothing wrong with agreeing to disagree. There's nothing wrong with having a dialogue, a conversation, where that you're not screaming and yelling at each other. So let's go and get into the reading. And it starts off, why is it sometimes so easy to offend each other without even trying? I know with Sarah and me, either one of us can get defensive when the other is pointing out something that needs changing. No matter how tactfully the suggestion is made, it is quite natural to get a bit touchy. When you feel slightly attacked, just a bit unloved or disrespected, it is easy to put up your defenses and then, sad to say, counteract. To put it in terms I use when teaching, feeling unloved, a wife gets defensive and acts offensively, without respect, feeling disrespected. If husbands get defensive and acts offensively without love. Peep this out, right? I give you a prime example of some things. There's been time in my marriage where that a simple question such as, what you cooking lead to a big old argument. Who you're speaking to on the phone lead to a big old argument. Why are y'all speaking about me lead to a big old argument. You feel me? Now I'm gonna give you something in reverse. There's been times that, and I'm not the one to try to make it like I'm the good at two shoes, because if you have been following, you have been viewing these chapters, or even you just viewed the clips. First, I thank you. Second, I hope you got something out of it. And what I'm saying is that there's been times I've said something offensive. It won't being on the defense of anything. You know, I didn't understand how can you ask me what I'm doing when you can look and see what I'm doing. But then, you know, when you start processing and stop lashing out, you know, I got the understanding that really my wife wants me off the computer because she wants some me time. You got me? Then it was times I processed, okay, I picked with her yesterday, I picked with her this morning, so now she gonna come picking with me because I'm into something. You feel me? So understand the person you're with. That'll save a lot of headaches. You know what I mean? Because see, it's been times, like I've explained to you before, I didn't win everyone. I did not walk away a winner every time. You got me? So when I look back and I think about how we handle stuff, how I handle stuff, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, tell you I won every battle like I handled everything correctly. No, I didn't. I was learning as I went along. As we went along, I was learning. Some things I understood off the jump because it was just that self-explanatory. Some things I put it in my head, but I revisited later with a solution. Anyway, let's get back into this read. To illustrate how this works, here is an example of how I can be defensive and quickly switch to being offensive. Sir, I might address something in my life that I need to be more sensitive to, such as emailing people back more quickly, because I believe I'm trying my best to keep up with everything. I feel a little disrespected rationally. My head tells me she has no intentions of being disrespectful, but it is just too easy to react at an emotional level. So I get defensive, and that easily leads to my counterattack. Well, the other day, you fell asleep while our friend Ray was sharing his heart with us about his new job. How sensitive was that? Well, I'm going to say this to you, you know, it's some things that put you to sleep. It's some things people don't understand, like when they call you, what are you doing? It sounds like you sleep. It sounds like you're laying down in the bed, sleep, but a person still want to continue to talk to you. You don't have my full attention. You do not have my full attention. I'm laying down, picking up the phone, saying hello, in a voice that you got to know I'm still in the bed. Honestly, you woke me up. You feel me? Why not say, look, I got something on my mind, you know what I mean? But if you want to catch you some more hours of sleep, however it may be, just call me back so I can get this off my mind. Instead of just keep talking, like it's okay and it's not okay. It's really not. You know what I mean? Some people feel that they should have all of your attention anytime, and that's a person that don't care about you. Because if I gotta get up and go to work in the morning and you got an issue about 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I gotta be to work at 6, why are you calling me? Why don't you call me at 5 or 5:30 when I'm on my way out the door going to work so I can talk to you about this on my way to work? But that's the thing. People have no concern for your feelings. You got me? You understand me? Real friends, real people that love you take you into consideration. They don't just say, okay, bam. Now, if it's an emergency, I get them. But when it's not an emergency, I don't get them. Peep this right. At one time, I was the emergency caller, like for the wife that was, the emergency contact. It got to the point that I explained to her one day, if you're out and about, you get sick, you get hurt or anything, the first thing you should do is call the ambulance if you can't drive yourself to the hospital. What's the purpose of calling me? When you get to the hospital, they will call me. For a person that don't have a vehicle, I used to tell them this, call the ambulance, don't call me first, I ain't got a vehicle. How am I gonna get you anywhere? I don't have a vehicle. So instead of you wasting your time calling me, go call someone that can help you. Do you feel what I'm saying? Call the ambulance, call the police, call somebody with a vehicle. You know what I mean? When you get to the hospital, if I'm your emergency contact, they gonna contact me. I'll figure my way up there. You got what I'm saying? If they don't contact me and you know your health or whatever it may be, you don't recover, let's talk then. Let's talk. You know what I mean? But my point is this, the wife that was had ended up taking my name off being the emergency contact and put her mom's name on there. Now when I found out about it, I said, God, well, why would she do that? You know what I mean? And then I started thinking about a lot of things. I said, well, y'all separated so many times. Some of these times she probably felt you won't never come back. You know what I mean? So I understand her, but it also kind of like put some ifs in my mind. And I had to get the ifs out because it would have led to an argument. You feel what I'm saying? Some things to me ain't worth arguing about. It's just not. You know what I mean? It'll be something big that I may not say it matters me. It matters to me. But it could be something small, like leaving the lock off the door. You got what I'm saying? Leaving the refrigerator door open or drinking out the pitcher that everybody, drinks out of. You feel what I'm saying? Of course, I should not have been so childish, but that twinge of defensiveness had me wanting to prove I was not so bad after all. I should have let it go and said I would try to get to the emails as soon as I could. Instead, I allowed my feelings to convince me I was being disrespected, and I chose to turn the situation back on Sarah and lash out without love. You get it? You get the pettiness in that? You're not understanding why she would like for you to email these people promptly. You feel me? You get me? It's called interaction. It's called engagement. And for Emerson to be an author, you feel what I'm saying? This is a business to him. If you're really up on your business, then you should answer promptly to it all. You feel me? The same as if you in love with your woman, you in love with your man, you should answer promptly. You feel me? You get me? Let that person know. Let your spouse know you have my attention. You have it. You got me? I'm at your call. You feel me? I don't need you to call Bobby, Jane, and Sue to talk to them about something that's going on in our home. Talk to me first. You feel me? Come to me first. If you have that problem, the best solution, you and your woman start conversating. You let your woman know, you let your man know that I should be the first source that you come to talk to. Let it start with us instead of taking it somewhere else. Sarah's countenance fell. I felt justified. We both pulled back and did not talk for over an hour as the crazy cycle hummed quietly along. Got me? You got me? The crazy cycle hummed along. If they would have kept conversing with each other, kept talking to each other, the crazy cycle would have exploded. But being that they put some distance between them, put some air between them, it hummed down. You know what I mean? Today's scripture passage describes the situation perfectly. Sarah was offended. Her fortifications were up and iron bars was locking the gate. As the minutes ticked by, I had twinges of consciousness. Finally, I realized what I had done to defend my pride. And from there, it was a no-brainer, even for me. When we finally resumed our conversation, Sarah asked, "Why do you say things like that when I am trying to help you?" As we discussed the situation, I finally stepped up and said what I should have said an hour before. "I'm sorry. I was really unloving. Will you forgive me?" Fortunately, Sarah put her hurt feelings aside and accepted my apology. But as the crazy cycle ground to a halt, she did add, respectfully of course, "It would have been nice if you had apologized sooner. And it will also be nice if you wouldn't get so defensive when I am trying to help you." At this point, I am happy to report that I did not get defensive. Well, that's the end of chapter 44. And remember this, for those that's thinking about getting married, for those that's married, you know what I mean? Think about the other person's feeling. It's a sacrifice. You have to put someone else first before you. You know what I mean? You have to learn how to talk to that person. You have to learn how to love that person. You have to grow with that person. And if you're growing with that person, that means they're evolving. If you can't evolve with them, then there's going to be a point, there's going to be a moment, there's going to be an emotion, there's going to be a vibe in your marriage that shows you we're going in two different ways. When I finally realized we was going in two different directions, that wasn't the kicker that said, "Let me get my marriage together." That was the kicker to realize she's too far gone for me to catch up or for me to slow her down. Now, what is your next choice? You feel me? It probably would have killed me trying to catch up to her. It probably would have killed me trying to slow her down. You feel me? You understand me? We went in the end, we was going in two separate directions. And I don't think our roads was gonna coincide ever again. But anywho, once again, please like, share, comment, subscribe. I am the Nasty Pastor. I love you.